Hi everyone. Hi everyone. Can you hear? My network is bad. Please, can you hear me? Hi. Welcome. Welcome to my channel. Please, if you're coming in, like this live stream, please. Like the live stream and so that we can start off. I have a lot. I scheduled the live stream earlier, but I think I had network issues, so I couldn't continue with that particular live stream. So we're going to be starting off now. Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you. Cat Lego. Sorry, where are you chatting from? Sorry, I cannot pronounce your name. Sorry. Sepot sorry. I can't pronounce your name. Please, where are you chatting from? Okay, so this the title states that Nigerian pageant queens and funding, Nigerian pageant queens, franchise holders and funding. Who do we blame? In recent times, we've been talking about Nigerian pageant system, why the ladies have not been performing, to our expectations, and we're also looking at the area of funding. Could it be that funding might be the have not been performing? Are the organizers and the franchise holders of the here in Nigeria, are they doing their best to ensure that are taken care of, their preparations, before going to international competitions, are they well taken care of? Because in recent times we have seen that Nigerian pageant queens are not really doing meeting up to expectations. They're not doing very well, and when it comes to pageantry in here in Africa, and now to discuss a whole lot on this issue. And I would say that when it comes to pageantry here in Nigeria, it has to do with the regulations. Who are the regulatory bodies? I think here in Nigeria we have the Ministry of Culture and Tourism. Yes, culture and tourism. They are the ones to ensure that at least the pageant system here in Nigeria is regulated. But I don't think they are doing their job when it comes to regulating the pageant system, and also the franchise holders of this particular pageants are not really giving the girls the necessary support. So we're going to also talk about our former pageant queens that have done very well. Um, they have done very well in international scene. How well were they able to, or what? How were they able to do so well? Were they funded by the organization, or were they funded by themselves, or did they have pageant coaches from other countries that were able to, coach them and give them the necessary support that they needed to conquer or to do well in the international space? So we're going to talk about what an ex-beauty queen said in an interview. She talked about allowing the ladies to do what they need to do. um, she talked about the fact that the ladies are left to fund their pageant journey here in Nigeria. So the franchise holders, they don't really necessarily support them. They only crown the ladies during the national competitions, and the ladies are left to fund their international yeah. Why did Sectra have to sell her clothes after Miss But if she had no sponsor, she could have to think about making her money back. Yes, I'm coming to that. You're very right. Yeah, in fact, you're spot on. Because it was so surprising when I saw it on her Instagram page that she was selling off her clothes, and it actually made me realize that Yeah, and that's not nice. Yes, actually made me to realize that why would, if she had a lot of funding, if she had necessary support, why was she selling her clothes off? It was so embarrassing when I saw it. Actually, like I felt like, okay, well, in my own opinion, I would not want to say that, oh, she doesn't have a right to do what she needed to do. I think that she had a right to sell off if she wanted to. After all, she bought the clothes. If, like you said, if it were her own, if it was, funded by organization, I don't think she would have sold it off. But like I said, what she did, it shows that, she funded the whole thing. She funded her participation in Miss Supranational. Oh, sorry, I think I had issues. I'll be back very soon. Okay, yes. Yeah, that's the power struggle we have here in Nigeria. Okay, so I'm back. Yes, so hopefully, I hope this light stays for this. I hope that, I have. Oh yes, that is expensive. It's not fair. Yes, it's not really fair, and that's why I'm talking about it. It's not really fair that, the pageant queens here in Nigeria, they have to fund their Don't worry, my sister. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so that's the situation we are facing here in Nigeria, power issue. All right, so that's why I had to, schedule this live stream and talk about it, because I think one of the reasons why Nigerian Queen has not been doing very well is because, they are left to fund their international their international, like traveling to the host countries, their wardrobe, their pageant coaches, everything about the pageant. They are left to fund it, which I would say is not really fair. Yeah, it's not really fair, because given the fact that, organization and a the franchise holders and the organization that, crowned her, I think that they should support her as well. What about the sponsors that, put in effort, that sponsor the event? What happens to them? Like, is it that the sponsorship ends after the pageant? What happens post pageant? Like, when they are, going out to represent? Okay, really, what's the job of MBJ and the sponsors? I don't know. Because I don't know if they are actually giving them the required financial support. But with what happened in Miss Universe last year, I don't think there was enough financial support, because that's what happened to Michelle. If you watch the Miss Universe pageant last year, our representative did not really, she didn't live up to expectation. Her preliminary evening wear was just whack. That's just the word. And she came out to say that, she had issues with her designers. They were not, she was not given enough time to prepare for the competition, because her designers, they disappointed her. Yeah, that was the word she used. They disappointed her, and she was not given enough time to prepare. Okay, so that was one of the reasons that she gave. And also, she talked about her pageant coaches not giving her the necessary advice and support. But to me, if you're paying a pageant coach to give you the support that you need, that to give you the advice and the necessary coaching, so that means that they were not able to coach her to her own expectations, or to our own expectations? So why pay a pageant coach when he or she cannot do the job? And she did have her outrage on social media. Yes, she did. So, like I was saying, in recent times, I found out that it's so hard for pageant queens to, actually do well in international scene. They don't actually get the like the effort that they put in. We don't get to see. They don't get to see the effort that they put in. If you get my point, like it gets to a particular stage, you don't have to cross a particular stage, and they don't pass a particular stage. Like there's always a barrier somewhere, and it's been going on for years and years now, and we've been asking ourselves what is happening. What are the issues? And most of them have come out to speak. Why some refuse to speak? And the few that have come out to speak, and they are saying that they didn't have funding, they didn't have necessary funding, they didn't have support from the from the franchise holders, from the organizers of the pageant. So why are they, churning, holding pageants every year, and crowning representatives, and you cannot give them the necessary support? And it's so sad. It's so sad because the recent pageant, Miss Supranational, that just ended 2 weeks ago, I was trying to see if I could see the MBGN franchise holders, representatives of the franchise holders in Poland. I didn't get to see any of them. There was no post to say, oh, we are here to support our queen. Like, at least if they can, pick 1 or 2 persons, Nigerians, sponsor about 100 persons, 100 Nigerians to Poland to support our queen. That will go a long way. So their presence were not even felt in Poland. So the queens are left to, cater for their traveling expenses, cater for their wardrobe expenses, cater for their pageant coaches, cater for a lot of things. And most times the family members helps, they have to come in. Like in the case of Sectra, her mom was there all throughout. Like her mom has been her backbone. She was there throughout in Poland, and I'm sure that she also supported financially as well. So what is happening? Why are our pageant queens not getting the necessary fundings? What is happening? So this is that issues why I'm here to talk about it. Like, I want to know your comments on this particular issue because, like I said, our former beauty queens, Agbani Darego, Yekachi Douglas, Queen Dami, Nigerian Youtuber, and Sectra, how were they able to cope, given the fact that, they were not supported financially? Like, how were they able to cope? How were they able to raise funds? How were they able to raise funds if the sponsors of the organization and the franchise holders did not support them financially? Like, it's one thing to, to crown your representatives, another thing to sponsor them, it's another thing to financially sponsor them throughout their international experience, international representation. So, are you saying that, when the queen is crowned, she is to cater for her traveling expenses, she's to pay for her visa, pay for her all round coaching expenses? Like, it's outrageous. It's very sad. So now, who are the regulatory bodies that I'm talking about? Who are those that who are those that are responsible for making sure that our queens are, there's a regulation in the industry? The Ministry of Tourism, Culture and Tourism. They are directly affiliated or directly linked to beauty pageants. They are the bodies that are supposed to regulate beauty pageants. What are they telling the franchise holders? How are they regulating the pageant system here in Nigeria? There should be some level of responsibility on the part of the franchise holders, because I for one, I did not know that there was lack of funding on the part of the franchise holders. There was nothing like that until last year, where Miss Universe Nigeria opened up that there were lack of support. Like, she did not get the required support from the franchise holders, which I thought was outrageous. I talked about that in a previous video. I also did an analysis on that, and I also talked about giving the girls enough time to prepare. As the pageant progresses, there should be some level of responsibility on the part of the franchise holders. Okay, you said franchise holders must be serious business themselves. They can't be hit and miss institutions. They can't be hit and miss institutions. Sorry, I don't understand you. They're serious business themselves. They're also making money now. They're also making money from being the franchise holders. They're making money as well. So I see no reason why they shouldn't be able to support our queens financially. They're making money too. But you said they can't be hit and miss institutions. Yes, of course, they can't be. The truth of the matter is that in recent times, Nigerians have not been happy with the franchise holders of MBGN, and also recently Miss Universe Nigeria, due to the fact that they don't the kind of girls at the crown, most of them are not really they don't really fit the taste of Nigerians. Yes, I say that because I feel like there are some international pageants that needs certain type of ladies. So if you miss it by crowning a representative that does not really fit the specification of that particular pageant, then you don't expect your queen or you don't expect Nigeria to place. So yes, a particular commenter talked about this, which I will talk about it as we progress. So, but I want to find out who are responsible for financing these queens. Is it the franchise holders or the sponsors? Because now we are getting to know that the queens are the one sponsoring the expenses. They are the ones taking care of the expenses. So now, um how do they raise funds? Because if you're not coming from a privileged background here in Nigeria, how do you cope in funding those expenses? So you must come from a privileged background. You must come from a wealthy home. That's what it means. So those that are now coming from wealthy homes, they can't participate in beauty pageants anymore. Okay, he said, meaning they must be serious, solid enterprises. I'm from South Africa, and you can't be making girls paying for anything as soon as they enter finalist stage. Okay. Yeah, South Africa, South Africa. Yeah, okay, you're from South Africa. All right. Yes, you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. I know that there's been some kind of issues with Nigeria between Nigeria and South Africa, but yeah, I'll talk about that in my live stream tomorrow. So I hope you're going to be here to watch as well. All right, so you're welcome. So in South Africa, as soon as you become a finalist, you under the show of sponsors. Okay. Yes, I understand what you're saying. I think the pageant system in South Africa is different from Nigeria. In South Africa, I believe that a lot of sponsors, they have a lot of sponsors. I've watched the pageant, and I'm also following the pageant for this year as well, which I think you've chosen about 14 finalists, semi-finalists or so. I've been following your show, and I'm going to be talking about the Nigerian that was that applied to this year's show. I'll talk about her and the backlash that she got. Okay, I'll talk about that tomorrow. But in this particular video, I would say that in this particular issue, I would say that South African system of pageantry is different from Nigeria. And here in South Africa, you have a lot of sponsors. Here in Nigeria, we also have sponsors, but to what length do the sponsors fund our queens? Like you said, in South Africa, the sponsors they become, you are under the shower of sponsors as a finalist. Here in Nigeria, I don't think it's actually the case here in Nigeria, because if they are under the sponsorship of, or under the umbrella of the sponsors, then why are the queens complaining? Why do they have to complain about lack of funds, or about not having enough time, or not being able to get the quality evening wears, or there are a lot of complaints here and there. Like you said, I was surprised when I even saw it on her Instagram page as she was selling off her clothes. Meaning that she needed the money back. She needed, to get back what she has spent. Because I know that Sectra spent a lot of money in Miss Supranational. Like, when I saw the clothes, the quality of clothes and the quality of her wardrobe and her stylist, I knew that she spent a lot of money. She spent a lot of money representing us in Poland. So I'm still paying that she didn't get up to she didn't proceed from the top 24. But all the same, what can we say? What can we do? Yeah, that was not nice to notice. Yes, it was not nice at all. She was like auctioning it out. There's some clothes that she said she was not going to walk. She was not going to wear again. She had to auction them out. And most of them that were the clothes that she wore in the pageant. So it's not nice at all. I was not really happy when I saw it. Like it was really, really embarrassing, sort of. I won't lie, it was really kind of embarrassing. But if she bought it with her own money, who are we to tell her not what to do? She has a right to sell, of course. She has to get back her money. So if there were a lot of support, I think she wouldn't be selling off. Yeah, and yes, and spent every penny, and no, she had to sell. Not all we are Africans. Okay. Yes, not all we are Africans. Yes, 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 yes. I think you are talking about my what happened, in the Miss South Africa pageant where we had a Nigerian, and she was, receiving a lot of backlash because she wasn't South African enough. Okay, I'll discuss that in the live stream tomorrow. So I hope you're going to be here, like I said, so that we can talk about it. Yes, we're all Africans, and I believe that, being an African, we have to support each other. And that was why I talked about this issue of not having a lot of African representatives in international pageants. This year alone in Miss Supranational, we just had about 6 countries. Just have had about 6 countries in Miss Supranational, which was sort of embarrassing. Unlike last year where we had about more than 10 countries. So why were they not represented? I think we're having the same issue of funding in other African countries as well. Okay, what I mean is that we are all Africans. Yes, of course we are all Africans, and we have to be each other's we have to be our brother's keeper when it comes to pageantry, because we are all grouped as one. We are grouped as one in the international pageant scene. So if an African country wins internationally, it means the whole of Africa wins as well. So we are all, this channel is all about supporting African queens, supporting, if you watch my channel, you know that supporting African queens from day one. Like, it's been like, we don't have a lot of bloggers here in Africa. Like, we don't have a lot of pageant bloggers here in Africa that have been promoting our queens. So I think that is why I'm here. That is why I'm here to talk about the issues that have to do with African pageant queens. But this particular issue, I'm going to be talking about, funding, because as a Nigerian, there's certain level of expectations that we have been we've been disappointed in recent times when it comes to representation of our queens internationally. So that's why I'm here to talk about it. What are the reasons? And I found out that one of the reasons why we've not been performing well is due to funding, lack of funding. So I'm here to ask, who are the persons that that are responsible for funding? As Nigerians, as pageant bloggers, as pageant fans, who do you think are responsible for funding our queens? Because it might not even be a Nigerian thing, it might be that it's an African thing. But like you said, in South Africa, you guys have a lot of sponsors that are sponsoring your girls, so you are lucky. You guys are lucky in South Africa. Over here in Nigeria, I don't think it happens. And the face of Africa will always change, because we have also experienced migration. That is why South Africans have Indians. They were brought here by British colonies. Yes, of course. South Africa is all encompassing now. We have a lot of different ethnic groups, different nationalities in South Africa. So whoever represents South Africa is fine. It's fine, but it's a different ball game here in Nigeria. It's a different ball game here in Nigeria. But all the same, I would say that to me, I feel like a lot more needs to be done in terms of funding here in Nigeria, because it's really, really affecting our queens. They are not performing up to standard because they are not given the necessary support that they deserve. They're not given the necessary funding. And also, they are not exposed to international pageant coaches. But over here in Nigeria, we have a lot of pageant coaches, but I don't think they are really doing their job as they ought to. Because if the girls are to sponsor their whole pageant journey, and as it is right now, we are yet to crown our representative to Miss Supranational, and we have to Miss Universe. To Miss Universe, they've received entries, but we are yet to crown our representative to Miss Universe. And give and take, let's say if we crown our representative in August, we have September and October to prepare, just 2 months, which in my own opinion is not enough to prepare for a pageant. It's not enough. 2 months is too short to prepare for a pageant, especially when you are funding. Okay, you said we need to extend to create Africa-wide ecosystem to help our pageant system. Create African-wide ecosystems to help our pageant system. Okay, how does that really affect pageant system? Ecosystems, how does it affect our pageant systems? I don't really understand. How does it affect our pageant system? What we need is visibility. We don't have that much visibility when it comes to pageantry here in Africa. We don't have the much visibility. So if countries like Philippines, Thailand, India are doing very well, then it means there's something that we're not doing right. Hello, Divine. You're welcome. You're welcome. How are you doing? All right. So, like I said, if countries like Philippines and Thailand that are not up to, like, because I had a commenter last time in my live stream, she was talking about those countries are not as rich as Nigeria, but they are getting it right in pageantry. So they must be doing something right. That maybe we are not doing what we ought to do as a big country in quotes. If we term ourselves as the giant of Africa, and we still having issues with funding, then there's something wrong somewhere. The stakeholders, the organizations, the ministries, the government parastatals that are in charge of making sure that the pageantry here in Nigeria is given the required support, they are not doing their jobs. They're not really doing their job. So how do we get the required support when the government parastatals are not doing their job? So it's sad. It's a sad one, because at the end of the day, it's so painful that when you crown. And another thing I want to talk about is a particular comment that I got. I say, okay, have more collaborations in terms of production and fashion. Help each other out. What we strong with, we assist. What we weak with, you assist. Be more united. Yes, we need to be more united. We need to be more united, because I think that that's the strength of coming together to uphold each other's weaknesses, and also cover up for each other. That's why we have to be our brother's keeper. So when it comes to pageantry here in Africa, I think all stakeholders need to come together. It's not like, if we are to grow the pageant system, we don't need to do it alone. It has to be like a collaborative effort, like you said. It's a collaborative effort in terms of production. So when it comes to production, over here in Nigeria, I don't think we produce. I don't know if that is one of the reasons why we are not really doing well. I don't think we have high standard of production in pageantry here, because when I watch other pageants like Miss Universe Thailand that ended last over the weekend, like their production was top notch. Over here in Nigeria, we don't have that much production and that much visibility. Do you understand? Like, we don't have that much visibility. We don't have that much high standard production. So if other countries can come in, like you said, if South Africa can collaborate with Nigeria, I don't know how that's going to work, or how we're going to do that. But I think, like you said, if we can get collaborations from South Africa as well, it would be welcomed, highly welcomed. But with what's happening now, I don't know if South Africa will want to collaborate with Nigeria. Yeah, TV production is everything. Yes, TV production is everything. If we can, have a production that is top class, that if I'm watching, if we have audiences from other parts of the world watching our pageant, I think that way we'll have a lot of visibility. But how many persons watch Miss Nigeria or Miss MBGN from outside Nigeria? How many, this has to do with collaborations as well. The franchise holders need to collaborate with, with TV production, with international TV production brands, that can also televise the show to other countries as well, not only to Nigerians. So if we have that much visibility, I think maybe probably would do well. I don't know. So he said, cause you do not want your queen to be shocked about top class productions when they arrive at international pageant. Well, I don't know if that is the reason why they have not performed international. I don't think that is one of the reasons, but it can be a reason. But I don't think that's one of the top reasons why they are not performing. I don't think that's one of the top reasons. I think it should be a reason, but not one of the top reasons. It majorly has to do with funding. That's my own take. It has to do with funding. There's not enough funding. So if there's not enough funding, then they can't perform well. But if we have a lot of classic productions, like our pageant system is being televised and it's giving the necessary visibility that it deserves, I think we probably would get the recognition, the international recognition that we deserve. So another thing I want to talk about now is that somebody said something, commented on my video, on my last video that I did, and she said something that actually struck me. I think I have to read it out, because she was now like, when it comes to our queens not doing well in the international scene, she said this has nothing to do with racism. After all, this year's Nigeria still hasn't gotten the formula right. So she was saying that it doesn't have to do with racism, that it's not like it's a racist thing why Nigerian queens are not really doing well. It's not a racist thing. It's not a racist thing. But she said that Nigeria still hasn't gotten the formula right. Yes, so she said Nigeria has not, and which I quite agree with her comment. She also said they send the wrong type of girl year after year. The girl they sent to Supernational should have been sent to Miss Universe. Yes, I said it in my previous video, that Sectra was a Miss Universe material. She's more than Supernational. That's just the truth. Like, she was a Miss Universe material, and I think Nigeria, I don't know, the judges missed it. They missed it in that particular event, and they had to crown Michelle. And look at what Michelle did. Michelle, she didn't perform, and a lot of pageant queens were crying, shouting, "Wow, why did what happened to Michelle's preliminary gown? That gown was whack." and I was like, what do you expect? What do you expect? When you don't give the girls enough time to prepare, and given the fact that she was supporting, she had to fund her the expenses and all that. So what do you expect? All right. So going forward to this particular comment, she said, "Yeah, the scent. Okay, she screams more of a universe vibe than Michelle." So she was saying that Sectra screams more of Miss Universe vibes than Michelle. So Michelle is kind of laid back. If you know Michelle she's kind of laid back. And why I was disappointed in Michelle's performance was because she represented us in Miss World in 2017, and she won top model in Miss World 2017. So I was expecting that with the experience that she's bringing from Miss World, she would have done better in Miss Universe. Being a pageant veteran. But all this, what happened? It was a flop. So Divine said, "For me, I think my suggestion would be that the alumni of big pageants like MBGN, which is over 30 years, come together and speak about the importance of pageant. Some like Bianca Ojukwu and so many." I understand what you mean. Like the former pageant queens like Bianca, Agbani Darigo, Chineye Ochuba, Queen Anita Uwabale, and so many of them that did very well internationally. Who again am I missing? There's someone else that actually did very well. Omomi Akinifesi. Yes, she actually was the former MBJ alumni as well. They did very well. So if people like Agbani Darego, Bianca Ojukwu, and Chineye Ochuba, Omomi can come together and speak on the importance of pageantry, we will do very well. Yes, I think so too. But to what end? Are they if they speak about it, are they going to implement it? Are the franchise holders going to implement it? Will MBGN implement it? Sorry, please, I want to charge my phone because we have a lot to discuss. My battery is running down. I need to charge my phone. So give me some time. I'll be back. Okay, guys, I'm back. So, like I was saying, can't you see my phone? I don't know what's happening to my phone. Okay, guys, I think I'm back. Can you hear me? Okay, guys, I'm back. Sorry for the break in transmission. I had to charge my phone because it was running down. Okay, so I have to continue with that comment. I hope you can hear me. Sorry, can you hear me? So, guys, please, can you hear me? I'm sorry, I had to charge my phone. Am I audible enough? Can you hear me now? Okay, so like I was saying, I think Divine made a suggestion that talked about, the alumni coming together to fix the pageant. Big names like, Bianca Ojukwu and the rest of them. So to what end? Like to what end? Will whatever discussions or whatever implementations that they suggest to the franchise holders, will they accept? Because at the end of the day, whether they come in to talk about their own experiences, they might even have it. They might even have terrible experiences. If I can tell, during their time, they might say, "Oh, they were not given the necessary support." So, what are they going to come in to talk about? Why would they want to? They won't. But they might not want to expose a lot of things. So, I don't know if that will work. Maybe it can work to an extent, but I don't think that's the final solution that we need. I don't think that's the final solution that we need. So I think that we need to look for more ways, or better still, we need to seek for more sponsors that will fund the expenses of our queens. Like, we need more sponsors that will do the job. If we can get designers that can sponsor our girls to international pageants, fine. It will take that burden of thinking of what to wear, thinking of how to pay designers to design. If they can get a sponsor that would just sponsor all their wardrobe expenses and all that, I think that will go a long way. That is my own suggestion. If the sponsors can come in to remove that burden on the queens, I think that way the queens would perform optimally. All right, so he says people in South Africa are generally tolerant and accepting. Yes, depends. It depends. Because I don't know, but I think it depends on the person. You can't generalize, but some persons are not really that tolerant. They might not really accept certain things. So being tolerant and accepting, it's individual. Sometimes it's individual, not generally. So Divine, I think your suggestion is okay, but I think that we need to also do more in terms of funding. So how will this, if you are crowned the beauty queen here in Nigeria, it means that if you don't come from a wealthy background, you cannot make it. Because if our queen, if Sectra funded her funded her trip to Poland all by herself, if she wasn't coming from a privileged background, or coming from a wealthy background, or coming from at least a background where she can afford those things, then how would she be able to cope? Probably she would just get to Poland and where she might not even be known, or she might not even those things really affect the IQ or the mentality of the queen. When you are not giving the necessary support, it brings down their mentality, and I think that's why they don't really perform well. Because when your mentality when you're not giving the necessary support and it affects you mentally, then you're not going to put in your all. You won't put in your all. So if they are saying that, okay, so let me continue from where I stopped. So the contestant who placed third runner up at MUN could have done quite well at Miss Supranational. I think she was talking about Miss Ekiti. If you watched Miss Universe Nigeria last year, you should talk about I think Ekiti came out third runner up. I think she was the one. She was referring to Ekiti. She was referring to Ekiti, that Ekiti would have done a better job at Miss Supranational. Well, if that's our own, I think that's our own suggestion, but I would not know if, would have done a better job. I think Setra did very well, but Setra was actually a Miss Universe material. So going further, she said, if the organizers at MBGN need help, they should ask Ibinabo what she has been doing with Miss Earth. So if you guys, you've been if you've not been familiar with the pageant system here, Ibenabo is the franchise holder of Miss Earth Nigeria, and currently Miss Earth Nigeria is they are currently in camp. They will soon, I think the grand finale is on the 20th of this month or 21st of this month, where they will crown a representative to Miss Earth. So Ibenabo is the franchise holder, and she has been doing very well in Miss Earth, according to what she said. So I think Miss Earth, we have been placing each year in Miss Earth. So I believe that, she's saying that if MBGN can seek for help from, Ibenabo, the franchise holder of Miss Earth, asking her and telling her, how have you been coping? Like, how have you been making your girls place every year in Miss Earth? That's if they would do that too. So she said the contestant she picks seems to place nearly every year. The truth is South Africa trains their contestants. MBGM provides only the basic minimum and expects their candidates to do the rest of the work themselves. So if MBGN really only does the barest minimum, like I said, and they allow the candidate to do, that's really not good. And I really feel like she's telling the truth here. Yes, she's just 100% telling the truth, because if you look at what happened to Sectra, she know that it's sad. It's sad. So she said South Africa trains their queens. Like you said, Katligo Sepotokele. Sorry if I'm pronouncing your name the way I pronounce your name. I'm very sorry. As a Nigerian, I'm not it. I can only pronounce the way I know how to. So, like you said your sponsors covers most of the expenses of the girls, and you train the ladies as well. So why can't MBGN train? If our franchise holders here in Nigeria, MBGN, why can't they train the girls? Why are they leaving it in the hands of the girls? So she said, she made a very valid point here that South Africa trains their girls. So over here we don't. It's sad that we don't give our girls necessary training. All right. So I think Divine, you said something. Okay, you said, do you think that is what MBGN looks for, the wealthier queens who can afford their way? I don't know, but that's what I'm looking. That's what is happening now. Like, if you're not wealthy enough, you won't be crowned as a queen. So look at Montana. She's also from a wealthy family. So who is Montana? Who is Montana, please? And those girls always place. Yes, Miss Earth having placing every year. Yes, Miss Earth has been placing every year. And they have a specific kind of girls that they pick. Have you noticed that they pick only light-skinned girls? That's what I've noticed though in Miss Earth. They only pick light-skinned girls to represent Nigeria. So I think they know what Miss Earth wants and they give it to them. So why can't MBGN pick girls that Miss Universe wants and Miss World wants, Miss Supranational wants? Why can't they pick those kind of girls? Why do they always pick girls that don't fit in? Why? If that is what is happening now, why can't they just pick girls that fit in? Must they pick girls that, each year they're always having, issues with the representatives? Like, they don't pick. That's what this commenter is saying. That's what she's saying, that, we need to pick girls that fit the organization. If the organization wants a particular type of girl, and say, oh, we are looking for a girl that is kind, that is down to earth, then you go and pick a girl that is very saucy and arrogant, then it can't work now. How will it work? How do you expect the girl to place? Because the organization, they're looking for girls that, they are looking for girls that suit what they want, that suit the kind of traits they are looking for. I think that's what the organization are looking, that's what they go for. Miss Supranational, Miss Universe and Miss World, they have the type of girls that they want. So if you miss it in sending a representative that doesn't fit into what the organization wants, then how do you expect to place? You can't place now. It's not possible. It's not possible. So he said, yes, Miss Earth having placement. Yes, very well. So what you said now is that if funding is a very, very important thing, funding is very, very important. Funding is very important, because just imagine if you're not from a wealthy background, how do you cope? How do you cope? And now I'm seeing MBGN crowning girls that have experience, like they've lived abroad. Are they saying that you can't crown girls that have not traveled abroad before? Is that what they are trying to say? Yeah, you can't crown girls that have not traveled abroad before. So that getting a visa or whatever will get better or what? I don't understand. So I think this commenter is right. We need to go back to the drawing board and work on the specifications that each of the organization wants. Okay, that's one of the things that we need to make our girls place. And also funding. Who do you think deserve to fund the the pretty queens? So if a girl is not from a wealthy background, how does she raise money? How does she raise funds to cover her expenses? Because now Sectra, I'm sure Sectra spent a lot of money covering her expenses in Poland. She spent a lot of money. And now she's auctioning her clothes out, selling off her clothes on Instagram, which is a shame to the organizers, to the franchise holders. Are they not ashamed seeing Sectra selling off her clothes? If she had the support from sponsors, if sponsors supported her and sponsored those outfits, will she sell them off? No, she won't sell her clothes off. She won't auction her clothes off. So it's very bad. Yeah, that was too bad to MBJ. Yes, that's bad. And with what happened last year when when the new Miss Universe franchise holders, they sold off the franchise. We're thinking that we'll get a new franchise holder for Miss Universe. At least let MBGN go and rest. Let them sell off this franchise to people that are ready to give us a good production. Let MBGN sell it off if they know they cannot cope. I was saying that they will sell it off last. We're hoping and saying that if they can sell this their franchise to another franchise holder, maybe there will be a difference. Maybe there will be a difference. So it's Divine said it's not a must that a national competition must hold. You can do an then use the money for hosting to train the girls. Venezuela and other countries do it. Okay. Yes. They know they don't have the money to hold a competition, then they should use the money to train the girls now. Make an appointment. At least appoint girls from that have the previous girls that have competed before. They can make an appointment. They can choose. I think Venezuela's and other countries do it. Yes, they do it now. Venezuela, they also hold pageant each year now. Venezuela hold pageant each year, but I think that they have sponsors. They have a good sponsors in Venezuela because their queens are always doing well. He said, do you think that is with wardrobe and makeup? Yes, that was what happened. She was not given enough time. Like she said something that she was not given enough time to prepare. Her designer disappointed her, and also the pageant coach did not do a good job. She didn't mention the pageant coach, but I know the pageant coach. I don't want to mention it, but I know the that trained Michelle. I don't know the organization they've been doing. They've been the one training most of the girls. So I don't know what happened to Michelle. I don't know what really happened with Michelle, because I was so disappointed when I saw her preliminary gown. Like it wasn't it at all. And saying that Michelle couldn't have stood a chance since she was coming after Nicaragua, and you guys know that Nicaragua won last year. So Nicaragua and Michelle, a huge difference. So Michelle wouldn't have made it because Nicaragua was the crowd favorite last year. So I think maybe that also played a part, but majority of the part was that Michelle did not just prepare at all. Even while she was walking in that gown, she so that has made her to lose. It was not even makeup. The fact that her dress and this overall styling wasn't that good. The styling was not good at all. She coupled with that, she also tripped on stage. She tripped on stage. She tripped on stage, and that made her to lose. So he said, like this year, Nyeka would do very well if she was sent to Miss Universe. Why waste the money planning an event? Yes, they would have just Nyeka now. But let's But let's win this year. I hope that Yeka is prepared though, because she's my favorite to win this year. So I hope that she would not. I hope she's prepared. Say, cause pageantry is like sport. It is sponsor driven and she did trip on stage and my heart sang. Oh yes, she did. And like sports is more sponsors now and your effort, your personal effort. So if you're not giving the necessary support from sponsors, then how do you expect to place? How do you expect to do very well? Because when you are not giving that support, it affects the mental health or mentality of the queen, and she go on stage and let me just go on stage and do what I need to do, laugh at the camera and come out. That's what she will do now. He says, Zeka coming back. I don't want to cry. Yes, so she's coming back. Oh, she's one of the contestants for this year's Miss Nigeria. So I'm also covering the pageant as well. So I think my next video will be on, my favorite from the entries. Yes, so we are going to have physical screening of Miss Universe Nigeria on the 26th of this month. So hopefully, let's happen. I hope Anjekachi, a lot of girls, we have a lot of, favorites apart from Yekachi. So many girls are coming back to fight for the crown. So just anticipate my next video. I will talk about it, my favorites to win. So this year has a very strong batch. Yes, so very strong batch, my dear. It's a very strong batch. So I don't even know who to choose from. Like it's going to be a a battle this year. A battle this year. So I feel like Yekachi need to. I just hope she comes prepared because there's a lot of strong girls this year. A lot of strong girls this year, and with what everybody's saying that Yekachi should be appointed, Yekachi should be. But if Yekachi is not prepared this year, I don't want to hear. I don't want stories that touch, but she's on my list, my top list of favorites for this year's Miss Universe Nigeria. So let's after the physical screening on the 26th of July, that's 26th of this month. At least we should have representatives of 37 representatives who go on to the finals. So maybe the finals will be held in August. Because I'm anticipating that the finals of Miss Universe Nigeria will be held in August. Maybe August. I don't know, but it depends on when anyways when the organization release their statement, we should be able to know when the pageant will hold. After the screening, then we can now detect when the pageant will hold. Yes, so she's African. She's also a favorite here in Nigeria, but I don't know what happened last year that she but it will be a second time. Let's hope that she wins this year. Because there are a lot of strong girls this year. A lot of strong girls this year. A lot of strong girls this year. So I don't know. There's a lot of strong girls this year. So let's hope and pray that Yekachi would win this year. Like we are praying and hoping, because we don't know what the judges are thinking. We don't know the heart of the judges. I think that this year's format of judging should change, because another thing again I advocated for was that they should also televise the preliminary competition, because most times I don't really know how they cut from 37 to 15 and to top 5 without a preliminary competition. So how are they going to cope? They say we died. Oh, sorry. That's a strong word to use. That's a strong word to use. Who else is so strong? Come on, give us the lowdown. Yeka is super prepared this year. Have you seen her entry video? Well, I've seen her entry video, but I don't know. With what I'm seeing so far, time will tell. But I know she's. Of course, she must have worked on herself. Coming from last year, I'm sure she must have done her homework very well. So let's see what she's bringing to the table this year. But I know that she's a strong favorite. But I don't know how prepared she is. But with her entry video, I know she has done her homework well. But like I said, I'm not a judge. I don't know what the judges are thinking. I don't know how this year's format or judging format is going to look like. But I hope that Yekachi will be favored this year. That's my prayer. She said, "What do you think has changed at MBGN?" I don't know what has changed at MBGN. No, I don't know. but I feel like I don't know if we're going to have MBGN this year, because we have a separate pageant called Miss Universe Nigeria. So we no longer have MBGN that chooses the candidates to Miss Universe. We have a separate Miss Universe Nigeria pageant now. So for MBGN, I don't know where MBGN will hold. I don't even know if we're going to have another thing again. I don't even know how are we going to get crown our Miss World, because MBGN crowns Miss World, and if we don't have MBGN pageant this year, how do we crown our Miss World contestant? How are we going to crown our Miss World contestant, since there's no more MBG, no more MBGN this year? I don't know. Silverbird, they've not released any statement to that effect if they're going to have MBGN this year. But if they're going to have one, that means that we're going to have two pageants this year: Miss Universe and MBGN. So let's see what will happen. So Divine said, "Hope we are ready for Miss Grand International." I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what's happening to Miss Grand International, because the franchise holders used to be Queen Nigeria pageant or something. I think, yeah, Queen Nigeria. I think Queen Nigeria. I think that's the name of the franchise holders. But last year, they did an appointment. They tried their as a representative. So this year, I don't know what's happening. Well, maybe they will this year, because Miss Grand International is in October, and this is July. We don't have a representative yet. So, and they've not made any appointment. I don't know what is happening for Miss Grand International. I don't know if we're going to have a this year. I don't know. Maybe they will as usual. Maybe they will appoint someone else. Because if you notice, Miss Charm Nigeria appointed Montana. And what's her name? Is it Montana you talked about? Hannah, former Miss Universe Nigeria. She represented Nigeria in Miss Universe in 2022. Yes, 2022. Hannah was Nigeria's rep. So Hannah has been appointed as Miss Charm Nigeria. So she will represent Nigeria in Miss Charm, happening next month in Los Angeles, California. Abi, was it? Yeah, Los Angeles, California. So Hannah will represent Nigeria in Los Angeles. She was appointed by the Miss Charm Nigeria. So let's appoint for Miss Grand this year. I don't know. They will appoint this year. So but MBJ is very from MEN and other crown. They all did the same. Yes, different pageant. So guys, I think we have to end it here, because I've tried 1 hour. It's not easy. My battery is, even as I'm charging my phone, my battery is running low. My phone is hot. So I think I've done just topic. So if you have any contrary opinion, please talk about. I don't know if Anna will. Let's if she will, please. All right, so I'll end the live stream here. Thank you all for joining. Catligos, Tukele, Divide Ebiama, thank you for joining. Destiny Young, I think Destiny Young, thank you for joining. Yeah, thank you all for joining. Thank you all. I really appreciate your engagement. Yes, I really appreciate it. So please, tomorrow is day. I've already scheduled a live stream for tomorrow. Please join tomorrow for another live stream. Okay, yes, for another live stream. And I think then I will start earlier than, maybe I'll start by 8 so that we can finish on time. Yeah, I'll start by 8 p.m. tomorrow. But I think, let's see how it goes tomorrow. So please subscribe to my channel, click on the bell notification button to get notified whenever I schedule a live stream. Go onto that live stream, check my channel, go onto that live stream and click on the notification button so that you can get notified whenever I'm coming up live. Because tomorrow's topic is hot too, very, very hot. I know that Catligo will not like that topic. It's about Nigeria and South Africa. There's an issue going on. We have a Nigerian that is contesting in Miss South Africa. She has been receiving a lot of backlash from South Africans, saying that she's not South African enough, so she cannot contest in Miss South Africa. So I'm going to talk about that tomorrow. Please stay tuned to my channel, okay? And please, I hope to see you guys tomorrow as well. All right, so guys, this is where we draw the curtain. And thank you all for joining us today. Thank you. I really appreciate your presence here. And here in this channel, we show love. We show love and not hate, please. And we also talk about how to move the pageant system here in Africa forward. So if you have any topic that you want me to talk about, please, you can also comment down below, or you can also send suggestions to my email address, and we'll talk about it. Okay, so I think henceforth we'll be shedding live streams daily, on a daily basis, or maybe after, maybe in 2 days, or on the daily basis. Sure, if I have a lot of gist, I will come on here and I will schedule live stream. But if I don't have gist, please suggest for me. I need a lot of topics on this pageant issue here in Nigeria and in Africa in general. So guys, I'll see you guys in my next live stream tomorrow. Please thumbs up and like this live stream. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good night from here. Bye.